Okay. So after my first two bullets of content failed to fire, and they because I think the they had been wet. I'm coming back with another letting off another half-cocked round of some more half-baked, half-initiated, half-educated, half-enunciated BS. um, but I wanted to finish up that little story I had. So I guess I'll start with saying that maybe there's no such thing. Maybe girlfriend is an oxy. Sometimes we don't actually know what we're saying out our mouth. I made another video about etymology where this person was giving me a hard time, like, keep your philosophy to yourself while we're in a learning venue. And I'm like, just because something is sophisticated and seems complex to you, because you haven't looked into it, doesn't mean that it's philosophy in itself. I was saying that the etymology of philosophy, I picked this up from the order Osho, is philo. I think that means like wisdom or learning, and phia is like love. So it's just saying the love of wisdom and the love of learning. And wisdom and learning are more so profound when they're simpler. And even things that are sophisticated and complex, it's more so the simple dynamics and the simple principles that are being that are amounting or behaving in like a function is what would make it seem complex or sophisticated. Where I think I said in another video that almost all that of our experience and is reduced, can be reduced to any discipline, any topic thing that you would entertain can be reduced to can be either attended to or or derived from chemistry, and that can be further broken down to romance, and that can be further broken down to what's called positive and negative, which are both arbitrary in my opinion, and that can be brought back closer to attraction and repulsion, which both attraction and repulsion are functions of one another. So that yet again is that is the most simple of terms. People being attracted to each other, and people saying fuck off and plant an apple tree and fly a kite while it's yet windy on March is what is being said in most things. But again, when people say your philosophy, or oh, you're a philosopher, they don't know what they're saying because they took the etymology out of schools, and that keeps us. We actually don't understand the way most things operate and the way most things have come to be. And a lot of that has to do with the etymology. Were you to know the etymology of words and what you're actually saying, it would confound your understanding of your reality and how you exist and where you exist, and when you exist. In such a way that a lot of the skewing of resources and opportunity that exists by us interfacing within false understanding of a false paradigm would not be sustainable if we actually understood what we are and how we are. And that can be reduced to the etymology, the opportunity for earning potential by taking the trades out of the school, rewriting history, and among others. There's to sound like a scholar, among others, et al. That means and company of very, when you're talking about like other learned people, et al. is one, ETAL. But yeah, a lot of times we don't know what we're saying out our mouth, and it's because we don't actually look at what we're saying. Like another one would be like, I got this from Todd Street Bay. It's like dollar bill. The word dollar, I think that comes from like Occam collar or Occam something like that from Tariq Bey had said that, and that is yet a real currency, like it had been a real currency, and there's a relationship between currency and induction, like electricity. It's like moon money. As Taj Tree Bay would say, but also then like silver and gold. They have alchemical properties that are related to the functions of the planetary bodies, the heavenly bodies that influence our behavior and our outcomes and our circumstances in life. And they are so we interface with one another along currency while being influenced and mitigated by more subtle and profound influences, no less than that of the heavenly bodies. And our very currency, our decisions, our statements, are a function of these greater planetary influences, and that's actually understood in how some of what we have is come to be, and it's betrayed within some of the very things that we say superficially, not knowing what we're really saying. So when you say dollar bill like that, a dollar is a real currency because Again, it's not currency unless it's like substantiated. So I think our real currency would be like obviously like silver and gold. And I'm not gonna start a silver and gold conversation, obviously. But then when we have like our paper currency that's no longer backed by that, obviously it's arbitrary at this time, and it's what would be called fiat. So you have each other basically scalping each other over monopoly money is what we're doing. But it had ceased to be real, what's called money or corresponding with the moon. And another person, another forum was saying that the moon has to do with attraction, and so we attract both our fortune and misfortune in how we interface with currency between other people, and and so but when you say dollar bill like that, you're referring to a real unit of currency of a real proper currency dollar, if it had been a real dollar anymore. And then a bill is like a demand for currency. It's a debt. It's a negative value when you say bill. So you got this song like dollar bills, y'all. So if I were to take all these egregious bogus usurers, correspondents that are littered where I live, and I were to start showing you all these different statements and stuff like that, where they're saying I owe out my yin yang, and these are actually bills, and they're making they're making a what's the word for it? They're calling forth my whatever dollars I managed to hide, like those little pennies that are in the couch right there to help me get something to eat from McDonald's tonight. Those are the dollar bills, and you would not be wise if you think they're not after every last one of those that had ever been thought to exist. It was reputed that there had been once a penny somewhere along that part of the country, and we need that damn penny, and we're gonna find out whose pillow it's under. That good old friar, that good old righteous guy that was saving it for the rainy day, not for himself, but actually for his neighbor, the old lady that can't walk anymore. Yeah, we need that penny. We need that dollar. So this is yet a levy and a demand over what sustenance you may have in your coffers of your couch, and it's a bill. That's what a real bill is. It's a dollar bill. We need that dollar with this bill. Dollar bills, y'all. So we don't know what the hell we're saying out our mouth most of the time. And then, so you say like, girlfriend. young, adolescent, maiden, mature, matronly, elderly, wizened. Where have you seen a girl have a friend? You've seen a girl have a best friend. You've seen a girl have maybe a bad boy. But where have you seen a girl have a friend and that friend was male? So when we're saying girlfriend, that might be another oxymoron right there. But what would better to be said would be like company, because when I did this first video, I had my little smartphone. A smartphone might be another oxymoron right there. Smartphone? What the hell do those have anything to do with each other? All these little AI, this and that, are the most dumbest shit you'll ever see. Sometimes I have to interface with the platform that I'm on. That I do 1099 work for, and you would be surprised how much time you could waste trying to do the most basic stuff with what's called AI, artificial intelligence. Osho has said that all human beings are fundamentally intelligent. There had not been a human being born that were not intelligent, and yet we lose our facility and our capacity for being intelligent, specifically by becoming artificial. This life we are we are we are subjected to so many falsifiable people and falsifiable notions and falsifiable experiences, that we are yet false, from some of teach a child in the way they shall go, and they shall not depart from it. So teach them all this false shit when they're very young, and they'll not stop being false. And that's what has been our experience. So, but all I meant to say is that artificial and intelligence is another one that we don't know what we're saying. And those words are not, I don't think those words go together. So it's an oxymoron. But you would be surprised how difficult it is to do the most basic stuff with this artificial intelligence. And then I have my smartphone with me when I'm doing different work, and sometimes I get an idea to do a video, and then I have a smart tablet that's a little bit equally janky, but it can give me some longer videos done. And I wouldn't be happy with either of those by themselves, and they wouldn't be happy with me by themselves. I have to yet make them. I have to balance them off from each other, because they say three is company. No, two is company, three is a crowd. I guess like we only get anything done as a crowd, so we need to set our significant. It shouldn't be significant other. It should be significant others. And you yet need a little bit. If you want to have like a little, yes, Mr. Therapist. So, me and Jane, we wanted to get things a little bit spicy, a little bit. We wanted to get back a little bit of that, a little bit of that heat that we used to have, a little bit of that snap. Can you help us with that? So get another friend and start making her jealous of her. What did you say, sir? No, I'm saying he should make you jealous of another woman so that you would think he's more interesting. And then she would also think he's more interesting. And then so much so that you guys would be so interested in him that you might tolerate each other long enough for all of you to come together and have a good time. And it might be more interesting than you and him becoming like isolated together and mirroring each other to the point that you're no longer mobile and you're almost like a pod, like a dual pod. But tripods are a little bit more interesting, and you can also film a lot of stuff on camera with tripods. You could even set up a tripod and the three of you could do something really cool, and then you could get more people interested and you could become a quad. But quad is also like a balanced number, and so the quad might not be as interesting. But if you could get it up to like a quintuplet or like a synquad or like five of y'all, that could be even really interesting, and then more. So. But nonetheless, it's good to have like different things going for us, and to set them off against one another. That might be our only leverage in life. You know, go and do something with someone mano a mano. You and your employer, you and your boss, mano a mano, just me and you all the way. They're gonna start abusing you as soon as you don't have leverage. You're going to not have leverage is to be abused. So maybe instead of saying, this person in my life was abusive. No, say, this person in my life had leverage. So to engage with a person forthright without having something to offset that, you are going to begin to experience abuse in short sequence. And so having a little bit of they would say like side hustle, but that if it's a side hustle, you're not a hustler. It needs to be hustle. It should you're what you call like your side hustle is the thing that is the little cool thing you do while you're doing your regular stuff. But what you should be doing is your little cool thing and your little regular stuff. You should be hustling their ass, and and then now you can start talking like a hustler. If you want to use like side hustle kind of stuff, but everything becomes mainstream at a certain point, and that's exactly when it becomes horrible. So they've turned hustling into being horrible with that word. There is yet access to independent work now, like gig work, and that might be a blessing from on high, along with the legalization of substances that had already been legalized by nature. So nature legalized it, and then your dumbass illegalized it and abused a lot of people, and then you went broke, so you had to re-legalize what had already been legalized. So is it re-legalized, or is it so um so what had been more egregious, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first, the plant or the law? But and like sometimes you listen to, like sometimes you listen to some badass people, right? And they're like, yeah, man, so man, you know what I'm saying? We got that green stuff, man, and we have been messing with that, man. And it's like we're doing this little bad thing because we're all I meant to say is like sometimes we can't see how false the reality we are in. So like when I was a kid, like, you know, and we got our hands on some little wax stuff that had been green, and thinking that this is so cool and this is so bad and this is so it's a damn it's a little plant, it's a little it's a little, so that's like, so like if I were to like to if I were to go pick a dandelion, and now dandelion is actually more healthy. Dandelion, that's badass right there. If you know anything about that, Tashri Bey has said that the things that we're taught are bad are actually the best things for us. It's some of the best medicine you might actually have might be what you would call a weed out in your lawn, like a dandelion. So man, I got this little dandelion, man. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta pass them fools, man. And but don't tell nobody about that, cause I could get fucked up with this little dandelion, man. But this is some badass dandelion, man. Is it? You're talking about a dandelion, man. Like it's this big bad thing. You know, that's how That's how they've gotten over on us, that we think it's this big bad thing to have like this little thing that grew out the earth with sunshine and dirt. But but plants can mess you up though. And the thing of it is that you think when you're tripping out like that, that it's this cool thing that you're tripping out. What had happened was, you see, we have to be conscious at all. If you cease to be conscious, you cease to exist. So these plants, these plants have different effects, by and large, and those effects, the more so you actually can't isolate poison and benefit, and the scholar Nicholas Taleb has said that some of the things like vegetables and fruits, they have like a protective coating, and so they induce a reaction that it's a protective measure, and it's actually a form of poison. A lot of our most healthy plants and stuff like that, it's actually a form of poison, and that's why you can't eat too much of it at once. You can't eat too much roughage or fruit at once without becoming sick, because it actually is protecting itself, and it's a form of poison at all. You could almost say that all plants are poison. Plant poison, Pete. Plant poison. Does it work to your benefit, or strong suit, or not? It's kind of like a lot of, like, when you do different like transactions, like with different businesses, they're all fucking you over, but you can manage to get fucked over in such a way that you get along together and you can get some stuff done. That might be relationships too, if we're being honest. We're fucking each other over, and it works out and it doesn't work out. Sometimes some beautiful things come about it, some beautiful things that look like us or look like each other. The more so beautiful part would be looking like our partner, if we love our partner, because in nature we had never seen our face before, so we actually don't know what our own kids would look like favoring us, never having seen our face before. But the face of our lover, that might be what the real attachment should be to a child. Not does the child favor me, does the child favor someone I love. But dang, I had lost my train of thought. But oh yeah, but with the plant, so it's actually a form of poison, the plant, and then it starts off like a complex chain reaction, and it can actually work in our favor if it's managed, if it's mitigated right. That might also be light and dark, positive and negative, where what's more so positive attracts negative, and what's so more so negative attracts positive. So you really can't do something without getting the opposite effect. Maybe the only difference in life is so we have a left foot that's for fun and for sticking our foot in our mouth at cool parties and sounding cool. And then we have our right foot, which is for making it up to work, just barely on time, and getting on and off a job site without managing to oust ourselves is what our right foot's for. So sticking our left foot in our mouth is actually appropriate in most settings, if not also for partying, having fun, and even on the job if we're to be interesting. But that right foot, we need to make sure not to stick the right foot in our mouth, or at least not at the same time as our left foot's in our mouth, because that's what does get us messed over. So as you're having fun sticking your foot in your mouth, be careful with that right foot, because you do need some tact at all times. But so with the plant is that it is so the only difference in life could be, did you start something on the left foot or did you start something on the right foot? And then you may yet get the opposite effect of that, because a lot of people with the most beautiful experiences in life, they had actually started off. A lot of people that all the right things happen for, they actually more so started off on the left foot, if we're being honest. And then a lot of people that all the messed up, really stuff happened, or just nothing happened for them while doing the best stuff, they actually stepped out on their right foot. So that might be the only thing in existence, is that existence is polarity, plain and simple polarity. Even our intention is the finest degree of that polarity, and it sets off further sequences of polarity to yet come back to intention, meaning polarity, intention, eternally. But yet the only difference is that, did you start that intention on the right foot or the left foot? And you will likely get the opposite and then come back to deciding how you'd like to start out again. But it is similar with medicine or food or substance, which are not different. Is that does it work for our favor or not? But it is yet had been poisoned, and then and but we must always be conscious, because if we're not conscious, we don't exist. And if one of us doesn't exist, all of us don't exist. So we are yet always going to be conscious. But then as you partake of these different plants, and then we can't say plants are not influenced. What's the most